Good afternoon to everybody. Before I start talking about commission, I would like to say a few words about something else. It is with great relief that after 2 years, ultimately we feel COVID has gone or is going, and we have assembled physically. I would like to talk a little bit about distributor commission because yesterday or over the period of last few days, there was a lot of discussion about what is the action plan to get the commission revised. But in my own personal knowledge, there are innumerable questions in the mind of distributors about the commission, components of the commission, how it is arrived, what is the process. So we thought probably it will be better to give a brief introduction on that. So let me say like this, that the process of distributor commission starts with a dealer being dissatisfied with the level of income he has. Obviously, because of two reasons. One is his number of customers are less, commission is less, and the cost component keeps on rising. So when that happens, the distributors collectively or singly talk to their representatives, and that is when the association comes into the picture and the licensing starts. The licensing starts at the level of the company, oil marketing companies. Then oil marketing companies form a committee. Usually the directors will form a committee. That committee will comprise of one manager from each oil company. Then that committee will interact with the association. Association collects the data. The company also collects the data on its own. Some of you will remember, who are old distributors, that balance sheets were called for from various distributors across the country of various ceiling slabs as well as various refill this capacities. Then when we present our data, they have their own data, they compare it, and we then discuss about the inflation, the cost of living index, because every component cannot be worked out individually, so a formula is formed basis the cost components. I would not want to go into the detail. I have the details as to each and every cost component is taken care of. But many times I get to hear, सब हमारा गोडाउन का मेंटेनेंस है, उसको इंक्लूड किया है कि नहीं. देन साइकिल है तो उसका तो आप करते हो, लेकिन ऑटो रिक्शा का करते हैं कि नहीं. एंड वी आर इन हिली रीजन्स, वेदर दैट इज टेकन केयर ऑफ और नॉट. माई रिफिल सेल्स इज लेस, somebody else's refill sale is more. So those questions come up. I would just want to assure each and everyone present here and who's on live that in the last 25 years, each and every cost element has been discussed, captured, and analyzed and become part of the formula. So every time the inflation goes up, the fuel cost goes up, the price of the cylinder goes up, that is incorporated into the formula. This formula process continued till the de novo study done by IIM Ahmedabad. IIM Ahmedabad has gone into the same components, but after they have completed the de novo study, they have not released the recommendations, saying that it is a confidential document. So, but when we have represented, all of us have been representing to them, all these components have been considered by them. Basis that we got the first revision also in 2019. And the unique part of this commission is that there is a ministry order that 1st July of every year the commission has to be revised. And why 1st July? There is a history to that also, because all cost elements are considered April to March, the financial year. The oil company said that it will take about 3 months for us to process the data after the month of March is over, and we will send it to the ministry, and ministry has to do its own process, which will take about 3 months. Now, this is already complete for IIM Ahmedabad, de novo study report. So there is nothing to be done again on an annual basis except fill up the blanks on the formula and arrive at the commission. No further study is required for 5 years. The 5 years it will require in 2024 the revision, again a fresh de novo. Because what happens is, during the period when we get the revision, there are some new cost elements which come up, like the corporations take up some initiative, digitization currently which is coming. So some additional cost will come. All cost which is part of the cost of living index is covered in the formula. So right now, PPAC, Petroleum Planning and Analysis Cell under the Ministry of Petroleum, has already completed the exercise of okaying the IIM Ahmedabad report. That is why we got the first revision. Now the problem is that 1st July it is not happened. 2 1st Julys have gone, or the 3rd 1st July will come. There is no reason that it should not happen, except that the decision is not being taken by the ministry. So whether it is the Secretary Ministry of Petroleum or the minister, ultimately it is the minister who has to say okay. So keeping this in mind, we have to devise our strategy, what we should do, how to manage it. So now working is not required, new formula is not required. It is only that the matter is stuck, that annual revision is not coming. So the agenda is very clear, how to get this thing activated and get the revision. So we have to consider now today in this meeting, there has been registration of more than 6,000 distributors. I would have preferred, that when this registration was done, there should have been a form in which each person who registered should have written down that he wants the commission to be revised, and it should have been a kind of petition. Okay, it would have been very easy, because if so many of them have decided to sign, they could as well have signed one more form. I support or this revision of commission. If that had happened, just now while we are speaking, we would have had 6,000 odd signatures, which would have been good enough to really put it up to the minister, saying that these 6,000 people have actually signed for asking revision in commission. The fact that they have registered also means that they want increase in commission, because the theme of the meeting is revision of commission. But it would have been more explicit if it was done. And here I would just like to, put it across to everybody that in 2018, we at AIHPDA did that. We raised a petition on change.org, where about 4,591 distributors signed that petition. I'm sure that would have had an impact. Had we done this now, it would have definitely reduced our workload in the coming days. Now again we will have to call them or get some signature campaign, because ultimately the political will of the country changes only when you have a mass uprising kind of. Otherwise they know that you are spread across 26,000 distributors, 22,000. How will you come together? How is it that they will be able to put under pressure the government? So it is very simple for them कि आप सब बिखरे हुए हो, बिखरे ही रहो. Okay. So the fact that today so many people have joined physically and virtually, that itself will give a message. But that is not a complete message. We have to do many things, and like Jagan has said, the theme of the meeting is what to do. So I have a suggestion. Maybe we can really do such meetings what we are doing today here across the country, or since about 20 states are already present here, we can ask 20 states to collect 10 distributors each from their state, reach the capital of the state, and from the capital of the state, we can take the movement forward in any which way we feel we are capable of. So this kind of a movement from across the country with an assembly point in Delhi, where the petition can be handed over in person to the Honorable Minister, may work. Anyway, it is very, very interesting to listen to Pawan. It only reminds me that the footsteps are the same. The direction is the same. Pawan has now some grey hair which he didn't have earlier. So he is talking like Pratap Doshi. So I think that's welcome. This is my thought. With this thought, I think I will leave the dais and for others to speak and give their comments. Thank you.